Hey everybody, it's Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters, and I'm actually going to be doing a series of roofing videos. I have planned, I think it's around 6 different roofing videos, and forget I do with my pad. But anyhow, I got the idea because I watched a few roofing contractors doing videos, and some of the information was a little bit different than my experience. Some of the information, I don't want to say was misleading because I think they mean the best. But I think what happens is a lot of these roofing contractors really just don't understand the process of insurance or how to deal with adjusters. Here's the best analogy. So I worked for a law firm before, and I handle these property damage claims doing some work. And I also dipped my toe into personal injury. So in a lot of times when you would have a car accident, a real bad car accident with severe injuries, and there are some questions as to what went wrong or if there was a left turn, you would hire an accident reconstructionist. Usually somebody that worked for a sheriff's office, worked for as a state trooper, that had extensive experience over their career investigating accidents. So we would bring that person in, but there's 2 parts to a personal injury claim. One part is the liability, the accident reconstructionist, but the other part's the damages. Now, we wouldn't have the officer obviously testify or give any opinion as to that individual and the damages they sustained. So you have to separate the two, the liability and the damage part of it. So from that part, we wouldn't have the doctor obviously talk about the doctor who treated the patient for their injuries. We wouldn't have him talk about what happened in the accident. I view that the same way with roofing contractors. So I think public adjusters would love to help out a roofing contractor, but roofing contractors want to go it alone. And if any roofing contractor is watching this video, team up with a public adjuster. Team up with that person because they can help you. Because right now, you guys are basically the damage portion of the claim. But you're really not experienced in handling the quote-unquote liability portion of the claim, which is how you get around policy language. What policy language is there in the policy that may not apply to a roof claim? Okay. Further, you could be the best roofer in the world and know how to deal with adjusters, but what if the insurer, the person you're trying to get a roof for, said something that hurt the claim? So the video that I'm gonna kind of review, this gentleman means the best. He really does. I could see it. But things that he said were off as far as what I know in my experience in the insurance industry. See, remember, I was a claim adjuster many moons ago. And whenever a roofing contractor would call me or try and negotiate a roof, we were told, we were taught, and we were instructed, listen, they've got one goal in mind. They're trying to get a roof now because that's their business. And so essentially, don't worry too much about the roofer says, because they're going to say that on every claim. So roofing contractors and people just know from an old claim adjuster what insurance companies think of roofers. And that is in roofing contractors. They really don't give them any more superiority or any more credibility because they're roofers. They know that a roofer is trying to get that roof now for his customer, because if they don't, that customer is likely not to come back. But that isn't actually true. So in some situations, I have seen roofers that have hurt the claim. I could go through specific examples of that, but I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to talk about the 5 different points that he brings up. I'm just going to comment on the background, stop the video when we begin, because I think this will be informative. And again, listen, roofers are our friends. We want them on the same team, but we should team up, not let them completely try to handle the insurance claim And for those homeowners, I'm not going to stop from having a roofer handle a claim. I just think you're not doing yourself the best justice by only having them involved with the claim. Because take it from me, we don't give any more credibility to a roofer. And I understand what roofers are trying to do. They're trying to get you a roof now. Yes. But that isn't how the game's played anymore. It's not played by the roofer's terms no more. Has been a war against roofers and people getting new roofs for the past 5 to 10 years. Things keep on changing. So I just want to give everybody the best information. Any roofers out there, feel free to call me. The other most important thing I want to take from this is that the roofing laws vary state to state. So this gentleman is in Colorado, I believe. And based on he's being in Colorado, those rules or regulations or building codes or state laws are going to differ from what we have here in Florida. All right. So let's get into it. This is going to be fun. It's going to be intuitive. It's going to be something hopefully academic, and you'll learn a little bit from it. Okay, so here's a video. 5 ways your insurance company avoids paying for your roof claim.
Today's Walk in the Park video.
This gentleman is
about the 5 ways
Homestead Roofing, and he's in Colorado. So we're gonna go through his points. I'm just gonna go stand in the background. I'll try to go real fast.
Your re-roof claim. Now, a lot of you know that on our Walk in the Park videos, we take time to talk about roof. You liable for more of the cost of the roof replacement.
So number 1, he says that
tactic number 1 that your insurance company uses to avoid paying for your roof replacement is to raise your deductible. Well, what does that do? Well, that makes you liable for more of the cost of the roof replacement. Well, and you think, okay, well that's...
Okay, so I'm not really sure what he's talking about here. And so this is some of the points when I talk about having somebody like me that has experience on both sides of the fence. So in Florida, for instance, we go off of a percentage. There's some people that have a flat roof from like wind, but that's very rare. 90% of people have a percentage, 2, 5, 10%. All right. Now every year your deductible may go up because that's based on your home value going up. So let's say in 2020 your home was $500,000, you had a 2% deductible. And let's just say whatever that math is. Let's just say it was $10,000 deductible. Now your house is $535,000. You had that same 2% deductible, but let's say your deductible is now $11,125. Now, that's not the insurance company actually doing that per se. They are just simply going by what they believe the increased value of your home is. But remember, with that increased deductible, the cost to repair everything has also gone up. So it's kind of, it washes out. So I'm not really sure. Maybe in Colorado they arbitrarily just raise your deductible, but I doubt it.
That's legitimate, all right? If they've told me that they're going to raise my deductible, then I have the opportunity to go look for insurance somewhere else where to get out of paying for your roof replacement is they'll just simply deny the claim. Why do they do that? Why do they think they can get away with that? Because they can get away with it. What happens is, you know, maybe a homeowner calls an insurance company and asks for an adjuster to come out, and if there's a lot of claims in the area, or if that company is suffering from a lot of claims because of catastrophes in other areas, they might simply just deny your claim because they know that the...
Okay, so yeah, listen, a lot of roof claims get denied. And he goes on to say that part of the reason is, and he's right about this, homeowners, if they get their claim denied, they really won't do much. They'll just say, okay, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Insurance Companies. And I've said that before, so he's right on that. But the other thing he makes it look like and sound like is that there's nothing else that can be done.
The vast majority of homeowners are just going to accept whatever the adjuster says. And if the adjuster says, well, there's no damage or there's not enough damage up there to warrant a claim, the homeowner's going to believe him because the homeowner trusts the insurance.
But then he goes on to say that, and there's really nothing else you can do. Well, that's false. There's plenty of things we can do. We can file for mediation, we can ask for a reinspection, and we can file a lawsuit. So there are other things that we can do. They just can't do that as roofers, but we can do that as public adjusters. The other thing is, which he's not informed about, so for instance in Florida, if they made any type of payment, now he's talking about straight denial, but if they made any type of payment, we can force the insurance company into kind of like, it's what we call an appraisal, all right? But roofers can't do that. So this is why I say don't always let a roofer submit the claim to the insurance company. Let them do the roof, but don't let them handle your claim, okay? Let's see what tactic 3 is.
For your roof replacement is to just simply fight with your contractor. So maybe your contractor has sent in an estimate, maybe your contractor has finished the job and has sent in an invoice asking for payment for a total dollar amount, and the insurance company will fight with the contractor about this line item or that line item or the price on this particular line item, or say we don't pay for that particular item to be installed or to be replaced or whatever.
Okay, here, well, the problem is that if you know that you're going to have to fight for every line item, all right, don't put every line item. Be very generic with what you put and how you write things. Also, increase the price of things. But first off, if a roofing contractor has, here's where they screw up basically. If a roofing contractor is costing $25,000 to put a new roof on, and he submits his $25,000 invoice, of course the insurance company's not going to want to pay that. If you go to the dealer and see a $35,000 price tag on a Chevy Malibu, and you know you can get it for $31, are you going to pay the $35? Of course not. So, all roofing contractors, listen, this is what I mean. Don't handle the claim yourselves, because you're not doing yourselves any favor by simply thinking, you just mentioned a minute ago, and I'm not yelling at him, but just trying to help him out, that the homeowners then trust the insurance companies, right? When they deny their claim and just walk away. Well, all roofers, why are you trusting the insurance company to pay your exact amount of estimate or invoice for the roof replacement? Think. This is why public adjusters can help out.
On and on and on it goes. All these just little itty bitty battles that your roof insurance company uses to avoid paying for your roof replacement is that they prorate your replacement coverage. Well, what does that mean? Well, most people have what's called replacement cost value coverage on their insurance company. And
okay, here this must be a Colorado thing. Again, what I had mentioned before, this is a state to state thing. It doesn't, we don't have this in Florida. And so essentially what's happening is, and he'll talk more about it, is about the depreciation.
That their insurance company is going to indemnify them for 100% of the.
So he's saying if your roof is 10 years old, they take a certain percentage off, and maybe it's 50%, 70%, so you're not getting the true 100%. They're doing that in various states. We don't do that here in Florida, but they do try to depreciate it. All right. So this is when you have to know the different states and the laws and some of the building codes.
Cost of replacing the roof or replacing whatever property it is that's damaged. And historically, that's been what has happened, is that the insurance exclusions. Now, there has been one insurance company, one of the major carriers, that for the last few years, that's been a big deal for them, is that they're excluding things that are cosmetically damaged, not functionally damaged. Typically, it's only going to be the soft metals, so vents, vent caps, gutters, that kind of stuff. So if it isn't functionally damaged, meaning that it still works the way that it's designed to work, but it just has some dents in it, they're not going to pay for that. But now insurance companies are moving beyond excluding just simply accessories like gutters or vents or things like that, and now they're moving it to a whole roof. What we're finding now is there's one of the major carriers here in this area that has changed their policy. So if in the past you have had an impact resistant roof material installed so you could get the discount from that insurance company that they offered, now you are subject to their cosmetic exclusion clause, which means that if they come out and if you file a claim, the adjuster comes out and he determines that the roofing material is not functionally damaged, meaning the hail hasn't penetrated it. If it's a shingle, it hasn't broken the mat. If it's metal, it hasn't caused an actual break.
Okay, so see, this is a Colorado thing. It sounds like we don't have really cosmetic exclusions. I've seen it in some policies when it relates to floor damage, but not in Florida when it relates to any type of hurricane. There is in northern Florida, central Florida, western Florida, central west Florida, some hail damage claims, and so this comes up, but it doesn't come up with cosmetic exclusion. We don't have that in Florida, so they're dealing with that. So if you're in those areas where you have hail or city cosmetic exclusion, it's something that's just not frequent here in Florida, and there's actually a way around that. And a way around that is essentially they talk about an engineer coming in. More importantly, again, if I was living in Colorado and a public adjuster, I would not only take the deposition of whoever would, or have my attorneys of whoever decided that, but then go through piece by piece, roof tile by roof tile, and with an expert be able to say that it's more of a fundamental damage and cosmetic. And then you put them on the spot. Does it take a lawsuit? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. But again, roofers, they're not able to do that. They're not able to do that. So they're a little bit handcuffed in this situation.
In it, it's probably all writing up total losses, the claim, boom, boom. What happened to him? So maybe he paid to upgrade ball size, tennis, maybe he all right, so two ifs. If
this is a bit,
you're an
like
insurance agent watching this video,
this is important.
If you've stuck with me all the way to this far, please let me make an appeal to you as an insurance agent. Please, if the policy that you're writing for your customer has these exclusions, has this kind of stuff in it, let the customer know, so that way they don't get a complete shock that they're going to have to pay out of pocket to replace their roof.
Okay, so take a look at one of my videos, Can You Sue Your Insurance Agent? So he's making the plea to an insurance agent. I love it, great. Unfortunately, agents probably are not watching this video, and agents are not telling people for cosmetic exclusion, water damage limitations, so on and so forth. So what can you do? Again, this is where an experience of a good public adjuster is going to come into play that a roofer doesn't know about. So if he was here in the room, I'd be like, okay, John, Charlie, roofer, let me ask the homeowner a question. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, did you know you had this exclusion? Did you sign anything on your application saying you approved this exclusion in order to get a credit on your policy? No. Well, great, because you know what you have? You have a lawsuit against the agent for errors and omissions. All right? So, I wish I could tell him this right now. He was live. I'd be like, so, I love your plea, but if they keep on screwing up, you know what you do? You sue them under E&O. All agents carry an E&O insurance policy, errors and omissions, for when they, quote unquote, goof up. All right? So now I'm going to come back and give you, now that we're done with this, I'm going to give you my 5 ways that your insurance company avoids paying for your roof claim. This is going to be from a public adjuster. Okay, so Mike, what are your 5 ways insurance companies try to avoid paying for a new roof? I'm glad a gentleman like this makes this video, because at least it opens eyes up to people as far as what the insurance company tactics do, but mine are far different from his, for a lot of reasons. Number one, I'm able to kind of coach my clients on what to say. I'm able to file the claim for them. I'm able to do a lot of things that a roofing contractor just doesn't have experience of doing when it comes to claims. And as I mentioned, there's 2 parts to the claim. There's the damage part when it comes to roof, where the roof is damaged, whether it's asphalt shingles, concrete tiles. Are the asphalt shingles, are they cracked? Are they uplifted? Has a seal broken, nail gone through? There's all these things. Concrete tiles, are they cracked? Has a layer been exposed? Are they uplifted? So I would like the roofers to handle that part. As far as a claim and going through the policy and reporting the claim and helping the client and teaching the client what to say and affiliated to what windstorm, so on and so forth, leave that to somebody else. So that's where a public adjuster and a roofer should team up. The roofer should let the public adjuster handle those things, and they basically are nothing but a secondary expert, because we're going to go in there and say the damage is here, here, and here. The roofer will back it up. But I think for some of these roofing contractors, everything's short term, and they feel as if that person doesn't get that roof that immediate time, then it's a lost sale for them, which isn't true, because a lot of my customers, a lot of my clients, I should say, that originally talked with a roofer end up using that roofer whenever we get a settlement, whether that's 2 months down the road or a year down the road. So just something important some of you roofing contractors should keep in mind. Because you service that person, had a good relationship, it does mean they will come back. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to give you my 5 ways insurance companies try to avoid paying you for a new roof. No particular order. Number 1, they're going to use what you say to them against you. Now, that's going to go in a couple different ways. But, and this doesn't matter what state you're at, but when you call in your claim and you file the claim, make sure you know what you're saying, how to say it, when to say it, and why you are saying it. If you look at some of my other videos, I always talk about if you're calling because you think that a rainstorm came, it's not going to work. You have to have the winds accompany the rain when you're dealing in Florida. Seems like in Colorado, the big thing is the hail. Number 2, they will use your inability or your failure to file a proof of loss within 60 days against you. Not all insurance companies, but a lot of them do. State Farm is notorious for this. All right. Number 3, they'll deny your claim, as this gentleman pointed out in one of his. They'll deny it because of an engineer and or drone inspection, basically saying that there's very little damage or no damage that's wind related, therefore it's not covered. Or in some instances, when it's hail related, that there's not enough hail. Number 4, actually I've got 6, so I'm not gonna lie to you, but if I add up number 6, it's like 10. Number 4, during the inspection, when you're meeting with the adjuster, they're gonna strike up a conversation like this. You know, can I go up on the roof and check everything out? Okay, sure. I'll come back down and tell you what I find. They come back down. Mr. or Mrs. Homeowner, what would you feel about a repair? Because it looks like it probably... Now, this is an adjuster just simply testing you. What do you think about a repair? Now, you may hum and hem and, well, my roof is older. Okay, don't you think it needs to be replaced? 2 things wrong with that statement. Listen, I go through this all the time. I hear what people tell, and then I have to kind of clean everything up. Number one, saying your roof is old. But Mike, they'll find out the roof is old. Yeah, but don't reinforce it. You're basically giving away something that they can use against you again. I find that if you don't say anything about the age of your roof, what happens is, sure, they'll take a little bit of depreciation, but they'll magnify it because they know you know it's old. So, back to the adjuster testing you. What do you think about a repair? So you feel, and some people feel like, okay, I don't know what to say here. Okay, maybe. Yeah, but when you ask him about the roof repair, he's like, well, or roof replacement, well, I don't think it needs to be replaced. It just needs a repair. And he's just kicking the can down the road. So, in that instance, he's just testing you. And so there's ways we get around that. Number 5, there's no windstorm or hurricane or any type of attributable high winds that would cause this roof damage within the past year. That's a big problem sometimes, and why they want to avoid paying for it. There's ways around that again, but I'm just saying, if this is directly you making a claim from the insurance company, no public adjuster involved. And number 6, bonus ways, they're going to say stuff like this, and this kind of goes back to number 3, the engineer drone inspection. Also goes back to the adjuster coming out. You'll hear things like this in either an engineer report or what they use. It's the same old playbook. It's literally flip to page 3 of insurance companies' roofing tricks, and this is the same crap they use. Oh, your roof is simply wear and tear. It's old. It was poor workmanship by the roofer who put it on. They'll say that, oh, the no opening in the roof, therefore the water intrusion, we don't know how it got there. But there's no opening in the roof, therefore it's not covered. These are some of the other things that you'll find that the insurance company will use against you so that they don't have to pay you. Now, I'm also going to have a video, and I want you guys to watch this. I'll try to make it brief. I know I like to talk and give pointers, but it's going to be how to properly file a roof claim. And you might be wondering, how can this be complicated too? Geez, everything's complicated. Yes, everything's complicated with the insurance company because they are basically at war when it comes to roof claims. And people in the general public, people that simply just want to get their roof paid, and roofing contractors really don't know about this. They don't know. But they are. They have been in a war against roofing contractors and public adjusters and attorneys for these roof claims. And I could tell you a million reasons why and what's been going on in the past 5 or 10 years. That's a whole nother video. My name's Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. I'm going on a roofing video rampage, so stay tuned, watch them, learn, and call me if you have any issues with the roof. 754-252-5438. That's for Florida residents. Even if you're out of state, feel free to email me. I really don't know everybody's laws. Things are different, but I will definitely try to help you. I can't represent you, only people I can represent in Florida. Mike, the Claim Squad Public Adjusters, thanks for watching this roofing video. Bye-bye.